Hi guys, Harry Sunday here, letting you know that there's a apparel company that supports the game that you love. It's called thereisonlyonefootball.com, guys. They've got all sorts of stuff, from caps, t-shirts, water bottles, all sorts of accessories, even for your mobile phone. All that sporting stuff you can wear anywhere you want to wear it, guys. That's right. And don't forget the website it's on, thereisonlyonefootball.com.
There is only one football!
Today, guys, on Football is a special night for all of you guys on Football is. We got a special guest all the way from overseas, but he's back here today, guys, to tell us his story, playing in the NSL with Kenny Wilson. Welcome, Football is, people. It's time, we're on again. Hey, check it out. Hup. Clap your hands, boys, clap your hands. You won't hear the music till the replay. Hup. Here we go. The cup of life, this is the one. Now is the time. I wonder what Ray's thinking. I can't even sing now. To be strong, we should have known right from the top. And when you feel the heat, the world is at your feet. No one can hold you back if you really want it, Kenny. I see it in your eyes. You want the cup of life, Ray?
Yep.
Now that's gone, we're gonna get it. Do you really want it? We are the people. We are the passion. We are the history. This is a massive special tonight, guys. A massive special tonight, guys. We are the people, the people. We are the passion. We are the history. I'm the Soccer Psycho, and I've got my two disciples today, guys, right now. But this is an amazing show. We've got an amazing gentleman. We've got Ray Zazu Farrugia all the way from the Gold Coast. Welcome, Ray. Welcome, Ray.
It's good to be back.
It's good to be back, mate. You've been gone for a long time. And, of course, great Scott, it's Kenny Wilson. Guys, you're all watching out there right now. This is going to be a special feature tonight, guys. We got a gentleman here who's absolutely done it all in football, guys. Absolutely done it in football. And I tell you what a story. And I'm going to start right now, Kenny. I've done my homework today. Now, I hope you guys are teachers, because I tell you what, Ray, I cannot believe, I'm going to say your stats right now before we start the show, because I tell you what, mate, I have never seen stats like this before. Now, we're talking here, I'm not going to say the age, no way. Your birthplace was Floriana Malta. Did I say it right? You're a striker. This is apparently, this is your teams of 1970-78. Floriana, 1978, 1990. That's the one we're talking about tonight. Paramata Malita Eagles, 318 goals, 318 games, 123 goals. I don't know how your league's feeling at the moment, but I tell you what, mate, 1994, Naxar Lions, international career, 1977 to 1983, 4 games for Malta. We're talking about 19. Oh, this is amazing. I've got to keep going here. This is crazy. What is this going on here? Naxar Lions, Malta under 21s. Of course, managerial position there. Pieta Hotspur, Marsaxlok, whatever they are. Silema Wanderers. It sounds like the Wanderers in Sydney. Malta under 21s coach. We're talking about Malta assistant, and then in 2018 and 19, Malta national coach. Guys, give me a hand, please. Mate, Ray. If I can say something to you right now, you have done it all. There's nothing that I can say anymore about this. What a great show it's become already. Shall we go now or what? I'm only kidding. Kenny, you played with this legend, my God, man. Look at this, his resume.
Yeah.
What are you going to say?
Well, mate, John Stoddart and me put him there. That's why
Oh, my
he
God.
learned everything from us.
Oh, my God, mate. Honestly, Ray.
And Colin McCauley.
I cannot believe this resume. You should be coaching the Brazil or bloody Argentina, my friend. What are you doing?
Mate, we talk about Ange, and Ange is obviously unbelievable. But
Yes.
This guy here, went through, obviously came to this country and played in the New South Wales State League with Malita,
Yes.
then the National League,
Yes.
then did all his coaching badges, went back to Malta, went through the Maltese coaching system, and then became the national coach of Malta, playing in the World Cup. We're talking about playing against Scotland, England, all the massive teams. No, we're not talking about playing against piddly teams. Having to go and play Scotland and having to play England and Spain and I mean, no disrespect to Malta, but I mean it's a very, very small place. Small catchment area. So, mate, he did a fantastic job.
Mate,
a wonderful career.
For a little country that you come from,
Thanks, Ken.
to do all this stuff, Ray, you're my God, man. Have they got a statue of you in Malta? They must have a statue of you there. They have to do something about this. This is the Raleigh.
I've got one here at home.
Mate, this is the Raleigh. This is the Raleigh Rassich of Malta, mate. This is true, Kenny. It's true, isn't it? It is. It is.
Mate, he's had an amazing career, and Ray will tell you in a few minutes. He's moved on to do some fantastic things. He's gone to Palestine, Israel, all sorts of places, doing great work all through Europe and Asia and the Middle East, and he'll tell you about it when we get on to that. But
okay.
When he goes back, he's actually flying back next week, and he's going to Lithuania for a week to do mentoring and some speeches.
Fantastic.
So he's very proud to have said he's a dear friend and one of my ex-teammates.
This is honestly, Ray. Before we're going to get you to start. This is an absolute honour to have the former national coach of Malta, guys. And anybody out there should absolutely be writing something here right now. We got the Paramata Malita Eagles people here right now. Mark Tanti has said two of the best players. Here you go, Kenny, and also Malita Eagles Sports Club greatest, both of you as well. This is amazing, guys. Absolutely amazing, Kenny. I'm clapping my hands.
Ray, there's Ray and John Stoddart, then the rest of us just tumble.
Unbelievable. Mate, how did you? I want to go back to the beginning. Ray. This is your life basically tonight, right? Now, what I want to say is this: how did you end up in Australia? What happened? Somebody call you? Did you come out here? What happened?
Yeah, well, I was playing in a Champions League game for my club Floriana against Panathinaikos. You remember the year?
Panathinaikos! We're talking to a Greek here, mate.
Yeah. Domazos, Antoniodis, great team.
Those players.
So anyway, after the game, a day later, I got this offer to come and play for Malita. And, they did the transfer those days. And I decided to come to Australia. At the same time, I had an offer to go to Canada, to play in Canada. But I decided to come to Australia. Because, listen, I knew that Kenny Wilson was there, so I had to come.
I see what you... So you had connections years ago.
It's been a great trip in football for me. I took a decision then after 12 years with Malita to go back. And I think it worked wonders because I did all the coaching badges here in Australia.
Yes.
I did all the UEFA coaching badges. I have the pro license. And, I was 10 years as under-21 national coach in Malta and assistant to some coaches there. And then I became national coach for the Maltese national team.
I am absolutely. I cannot. I tell you what. I tell you what. Now, what made you come to Australia? What was the reason for coming here? I'll tell you why. Now, this was the last frontier, the final frontier. It sounds like Star Trek. What I'm just saying. Right? The final frontier of Star Trek, but that this is the final frontier of the game. When did you arrive, and what? Where did you go first?
Well, I arrived on the 17th of August, 1978.
Yes.
I knew that Australia soccer wasn't the first choice. I mean, here they support rugby, cricket, whatever. But I think Kenny, myself, Johnny Stoddy, and the guys, and the other players in other teams from Scotland, England, and in South America, when they started coming, I think we are the pioneers for soccer in Australia. And I think this should be never forgotten, by everyone.
Exactly.
I mean, I went to watch the Mariners train, and unbelievable. I've been away 33 years. It's a long time. But a lot of them came out to me and recognized me. Okay, I had hair those days, like any, but that is something which is unbelievable. When they saw me, they all came, and they said, "Hey, Ray Farrugia, Zazu, wow, Paramata, Mr. Malita." This is what they called me, and that's something that can never be forgotten. But saying that, I think soccer has come a long way in Australia, but I think it deserves a lot better here.
It does.
Soccer is a big game all over the world. It is a game that brings people together all over the world. I made some great friends here. They became family to me. I mean, Kenny is one of them. We are so close. And Johnny Stoddy and all the guys. We had the reunion, and what a feeling for me. It was very, very emotional. But I think I did a great speech. I tell you why. Not because it was a great speech. Because I spoke about every player that I played with. How would they fit in today's game? And I explained each individual how they would fit in today's football world. And I think these players deserve a lot of credit. They were great players. They would fit magnificently in today's game. Those days, they were not, it was a tough game. The referees didn't give you much cover, especially for me and Kenny and Johnny, that, we were ball players. But in today's game, they get a lot of protection. If we had the same protection as we had in those days, I think we would have been better players. But I think we did wonders, And I'm happy that I came to Australia. I met such people. I made some great friends. And I can never forget those days.
Now, Kenny, you. When did Ray come over? Was that just before they entered the NSL Parramatta Malita Eagles?
Well, Ray played 78 with Malita, with Johnny Stoddart. They had a terrific team. And they played in the State League at that time. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, I mean, it was wrong what happened. But in actual fact, when I was at Olympic, we got relegated in 1980. And Malita won the league. And we won the grand final, and they promoted us, and never promoted them.
My God!
Yes.
But that was one of many crazy decisions. I mean, when we were at Olympic to get relegated, we finished second bottom, and South Melbourne were below us. They stayed in, and we went out. I mean, there was crazy things happening in the days. But logically, you would normally promote the champions.
Yes.
Not the grand final winners. Well, that's not what they did. They promoted us, and they had a fantastic team. And the midfield, him and Story in midfield, it was nightmare, absolute nightmare. They tried to play against them, and they absolutely smashed us in the actual normal games. I mean, we came good, in the grand final and the sort of one-off cup games, but it was at the end of probably a long, hard season. But logically, so then fast forward, Malita get promoted in '83 to the National League. Under Raul Blanco, and Raul signs me for St. George, so I join up with Malita in '84 in the National League with Ray, and Johnny McKee, and I mean we had a fantastic team. We had a terrific team. Colin McCausland, Stuart Johnson. I mean Dennis Duarte, and we had Alex McPherson goals. It was just a great time. Unfortunately, it was the first season where they zoned the National League, and it just spoiled it from that perspective. It never really became. It never felt the same. Obviously because I played a lot, so I knew what it was like when it was a full National League. So subsequently I played right through till '88 with Ray, and we won the grand final. We won the championship. So we picked up a few trophies along the way and had a great time. But boy, did we have some great guys at the club, some great friends, and Donny Allen. God. I mean, we people forget. The money and and a little bit of prestige is great, but there's nothing that can explain the bonding and the friendship you get through football. Nothing.
Exactly. And this is the time that everybody was coming to Australia, and you were one of them, Ray. And of course, how did you feel? What were you thinking when you've just come over from Europe? The main game in Malta is the game. It's the football. It's the religion in Malta as well. How did you feel coming over here and saying, when you walked out on the ground the first time, you said to yourself, "What am I doing here?" Is that right?
Yes, in a way, but it's which was good. I felt at home here straight away. The welcome they gave me, the players, the supporters, and as Kenny knows, we are so close. Me and Donny Allen especially, we are like brothers. Of all these years, 45 years and all. But I enjoyed my stay here in Australia. Actually, Dennis Hogarth spoke to me in the reunion, and he said, "Listen, Ray, you should have been playing in Europe. You shouldn't have been playing in Australia." That was really something really nice. But I enjoyed my stay here, and I think we did something for towards Australian soccer. We left. Let's face it, we left our mark. This is how I describe it, and I hope today's kids that soccer has grown a bit here. Luckily, they won't forget. People won't forget who started all this. I think it's important that it's never forgotten, because the start is the difficult part.
It is.
Later in life, things become easier. But we started from scratch. Kenny, you cannot. I hope you remember these times. It was difficult times, very, very difficult times. But it was at the beginning of good things to come later, which are happening now. If we had the facilities, luckily at Malita we had very good facilities. But if we had the facilities now, like I went to see only the Mariners, and they have very, very good facilities, I think we would have been better players, more than we were then. Can you imagine that? Some great players I played with, and the players that played against us, Kenny. We saw great games, but we showed respect to each other, which is fantastic. And that word, for me, respect is everything in life.
And this is, Ray, what I'd like to say is this is when everybody came out to the country here to start the first National League, and Kenny knows this, the respect that the players came from overseas. They were treated like superstars here. Superstars, Kenny, is that right? Like, we've got international players coming to our league, and it was crazy, and it was madness. It was like Sydney Olympic, you started there. It was madness, mate. It was like something hit us, like the game just prospered for so long, for a few years. You know that, Kenny?
Well, mate, I was blessed. I had 7 seasons at Sydney Olympic.
There you go.
And mate, the Greeks are, I was blessed because I had Olympic and Malita, the Greeks and the Maltese. It doesn't get any better than that. Let me tell you, it doesn't get any better than that,
mate.
Mate, I don't know if Doris is watching, but Doris in the canteen used to have my pasticcia ready for me.
Oh my God, you make me. I miss the Greek food,
mate. My eldest daughter, we were talking, me and Ray, when we were having lunch the other day, we were talking, my eldest daughter, she was in the cheer squad back in the day. She's now early 40s. She was 5 when she was playing she was in the cheer squad. We were, mate, great times. It's just on a serious note, Ray, just explaining what you're doing. You were telling me the other day, which is the amazing thing. The Palestine and the Israel.
Yes.
Just explaining what you're doing.
Yes. Now what I'm doing, I'm working for an entity. It's FSR. It's sponsored by the European Union, the Malta Football Association, and the UEFA. What we do is we go to, example, the last trip I did, I went to Palestine. I went to Palestine in Ramallah. I did some training sessions in the refugee camp, Aida refugee camp. And, I give lectures regarding leadership and coaching youth. I did that in Beirut. In Beirut, it really hit me. I went to this refugee camp, Shatila, and it was sad, really sad. But, I did training with the kids. We took a lot of equipment for these kids, balls, shoes, and this. But this is all through the Malta Football Association, UEFA, and European Union. And now what I'm doing is I want to give something back to football. I want to give something back from what I got. It can't be only one way in life. Not only me. It has to be we. Mm-hmm. I think you have to give something back. I spoke to Kenny. We were talking. And, he was impressed with this thing that I'm doing. And I do another thing in Malta. It's called Richmond Foundation for these kids in need, abused kids. Mm. I do training sessions during the week for these kids. It's not easy. It is very difficult because all these kids are in an institute. Mm. But I want to dedicate the rest of my life giving something back to society.
Absolutely amazing, the work that you're doing out there in these Middle Eastern countries that need help, of course. But what I want to do is just tell you right now is that, of course, you played with Kenny and John Stoddart. Was there anything particularly that you thought was funny at Malita Eagles? Was there some secret, some funny thing that ever happened there with these guys? No, Kenny, don't laugh here. Don't laugh.
No.
You can't.
First. No, I'll start first. Here.
Don't start. Go on, Ray.
This story. Kenny, I think for me, is the most intelligent player I've ever played with. Why? Kenny used to be the stopper. Bobby Magin this weekend. Yes. Kenny didn't like to mark, so he used to tell Bobby, "You mark, I sweep." Of course, he wanted the easy job. What can I say? Kenny was a brilliant player.
That's good.
Then I go to Johnny Stoddart. What can I say about Johnny Stoddart, Kenny?
Genius.
Johnny Stoddart, when the chips were down, you needed a Johnny Stoddart. Johnny was a class above. What a player. We had great players, Kenny. Bobby McGee, Bobby Mack, Phil Micas, Billy Griff, Donnie Allen. Come on, Colin McCausland. We have to mention Colin McCausland. Great players. Alec Jameson.
We lost Colin.
Johnny McKee. I will mention them all now, Derek Lang, Johnny, brilliant.
You've got a memory and also when you see the replay, guess what team I've got up there above you guys? We got remember that photo you sent me, Kenny? It's right there. All these players you mentioned are in that picture. So they're watching, everybody's watching that photograph, but you won't see it to the replay, but they're probably watching the names right now, right there.
And to be honest, I think I told him during the reunion of the players, we had a great keeper, Alec McPherson. And there was Terry Greedy too. But what was good about Alec McPherson, if you go fast forward to today's game, Alec McPherson could play with his feet. If you are a keeper today, if you're not good with your feet, you won't be in the team. No way.
That's right.
Alec McPherson, we're talking about, 40 years ago, he could really play with his feet. What a keeper.
And as you say, sorry, Kenny, and as you see, as Kenny, I'll tell you right now, as you see, the goalkeepers come right out now. They can come right to the quarter of the thing and play like a sweeper as well. So that's what you're saying as well. Is that right, Ray? It's amazing.
Yes.
Harry, just as you know, Ray's got an autobiography.
Yes, I've got this book written right. I've got the book right here, written here to say something.
What he's done, all the sales in Australia, the profits are going to Malita Eagles to try
Fantastic.
To raise the club from the ashes, because what's happened to Malita is an absolute travesty. And all the boys, Ray, everyone, we're all going to try and do our very best to try and get them back to where they should belong. Mate, they don't have a ground anymore. Absolute disgrace what's happened to them. Anyway, Ray's very kindly, all the sales, the profit and the sales from the Australian sales, Ray's donated to the club, which is magnificent. So if anyone, amazing. Whether you be Maltese or you just love a great read, buy the book, because Stoddy's in it and I'm in it, so it's worth buying it just for that.
Oh my God! I'm gonna have to buy. We need to know where to buy one.
The photographs of us in it. So,
please, can I get one? Where can I get one from? That's the other thing. People want to know where to get one from.
I'll get you one, Harry.
I'd love to get one because I want to read this stuff. And this is what a lot of players don't do that have been here, Ray. They don't write their story, their journey through the game. And your journey through the game has been what I just read before. My God, man, the amount of teams. And what I want to ask you is too, some of these teams, now, when I say some of these teams, Florian, of course, that's from Malta, of course. Where's Naxar Lions? Is that in Malta?
Yes, they are in Premier League now this year. Naxar is in the center of the island, but, Slima is a big club in Malta too. And Marsashlok was still coming up. Yes. And in my first year, I only stayed 1 year with Marsashlok because then I went back to the national team. In that year, it was a new team in the Premier, and I managed to put them in the Europa League.
Fantastic. And also,
Harry,
go on, Kenny. Go on.
I just, we're talking about, obviously Malita and the history, but what's really iconic at the moment, or what's really relevant at the moment, is Saudi Arabia, because obviously things are happening.
Oh my God.
Now, I mean, Ray can tell you.
I will tell him, Kenny.
Ray's going to tell you the story because, Saudi Arabia, it was happening. I'll let Ray tell the story.
Well, anyway,
please.
The thing about Saudi Arabia, I became national coach, and in Malta they do the UEFA license courses, UEFA C, UEFA B, UEFA A, and Pro license. And in the UEFA A, I had to give a lecture. So I was giving the lecture. I was national coach. We just had beaten Faroe Islands, and we lost to Spain 2-0. And after the lecture, this guy came up to me. I didn't know who he was. I knew he was from Saudi Arabia, and his name was Abdullah Hamad. He was the vice president of Al Ahly club, the club that now Firmino and Mahrez play for. So he said, I want you to come for 1 week to Jeddah. I went to Jeddah. I saw the setup, fantastic setup. Then they took me to the office and they asked me a question. They said, listen, Zazu, because Zazu, they called me there. What would you like, to be the Saudi Arabian national coach or Al Ahly?
Oh my God.
So I said, well, both are big challenges for me. But I'm sorry, I'm still national coach of Malta. Being Maltese, definitely, I would break the contract. And that was it. I came back. But after 1 week, he came over again to Malta. And he came with a contract, a 2-year contract. You can imagine how big it was. And we agreed that, that when I finished the contract, we discuss again. But he gave me a copy of the contract. I still have it at home.
Oh, we would love to see that. We would love to see this.
And then what happens? COVID broke.
Oh.
And everything fell through.
Oh my God!
This is something which it was unbelievable. Jeddah was a great place. The setup, the training facilities, the stadium, 76,000 stadium, a massive club. But this COVID did what it did. But that is a part of the story of my life, my career.
And let's go to the national coaching here. This is to be a national coach of a country that you actually come from. The heart would have been pumping, saying, I'm the national coach. How did you feel? This is amazing to get the position as national coach.
Yes. To be honest, when they told me that I will be the national coach of Malta, my mother died 2 years before, and I thought I saw my mother again. That is how proud I was. And it was the highlight of my career. I said, now, but what I did, I took a big risk. But I knew that is the only way forward. I was on the assistant coach to 3 other coaches with the national team. And I said, listen, if you don't introduce young players, we can never go forward. So what I did, I got rid of half the squad, and I put all 19-year-olds. 19-year-olds. They are all playing now in the national team. Then there was a change in the president, and well, he decided to bring an Italian.
Oh.
And it was a sad story, but that I won't say anything. It was really sad what happened. But I am proud that, I took that decision. I'm happy that I took that decision because I did it not for Ray Farrugia. I did it for Maltese football. I took a risk, of course. I knew that I will get good results and bad results because this is normal as a small country. But something had to be done. And this something was introducing young players. And now the fruit it's bearing fruit because these players, I can start mentioning, but I will never stop. I introduced 13 players, young players into the squad. And they are all still there, which is fantastic,
That's amazing.
But then when COVID came and everything, and I decided to write the biography, and then I got another big surprise in my career. The government bestowed me with one of the highest honors of the country, which is like, what England do, MBE and this,
Is it the Maltese Cross?
Yes.
Is that right?
I was
That's
honored.
massive.
It's called, in Maltese, it is Jihir Republica. It is towards the services towards your country, what you gave, what you achieved. And for me, that is something, something big. Even before I left in 1989, here in Australia, it's important that people know. I received a beautiful letter from the lodge in Canberra by the Prime Minister, Mr. Bob Hawke.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got one. I've got a letter from the Orange Lodge.
And
oh my God!
And he's thanking me for my service towards soccer in Australia and what I have achieved. And that is, I still have it at home. I put it in a frame, obvious. So that is
right.
Something that, coming from both sides, from Australia.
I think that this, Kenny, what he just said, I have never heard a Prime Minister to give a letter to a player in this country. It's unheard of. I've never heard this before. Have you ever heard? No, I don't think anybody would have heard. Ray, this letter, you got it on a certificate. Can you please send us all this stuff? Just on photograph.
I have a copy here.
Take a snapshot. I want to put it up because no one in this country.
I'll send you a snapshot.
Not even a Socceroo, Kenny. Not even a Socceroo's actually got a letter like this from a Prime Minister of Australia. This is, mate, this is all historical stuff that you heard.
We have trouble with the FA trying to just recognise our Socceroos, 74 Socceroos,
Can't believe it.
and our 75 Matildas. So that's a huge call.
That is like you that close for a knighthood. If you were an Australian citizen, he might have got a knighthood.
I am an Australian citizen. I'm a dual citizen.
Unbelievable. This is unbelievable. Kenny, can you add some more? I'm lost for words after this. Can you add some more for me? My God.
Mate, I've told you before, mate, all my friends are great people. I've told you that a million times.
Unbelievable.
All my friends.
The connections that you have, the connections.
Farrugia, a lot of them, they're great. They're great guys. That's one thing. I've got the greatest ability that I've had in my life is attracting great people towards me. I've got that ability. I just attract them. The dead shits I don't get, thankfully.
Yes.
A mate of mine gets me a couple now and then. He knows, he's probably watching, he's probably listening, he knows what we're talking about. But predominantly me, I've got that ability to attract great people, kind people, warm hearts. I wish you could have been there on Friday night.
I wish I was there. I wish.
Paul McCausland, Johnny McKee, Phil Micas, it went on, and then we had, Roger Sleeman was there.
Yes.
Some media, and obviously the Malita Eagles boys, Anthony Thelma, we need to mention, who's
Yes.
And
Yes.
Mark Tanti, fantastic.
Mark, who's watching tonight, who's obviously posted.
Yes. He's posting a lot of stuff on it. A lot of stuff.
And Anthony
Kenny,
Thelma,
those two, Mark Tanti and Anthony Thelma, I take my
Unbelievable.
hat off for them.
We have.
What they're doing to Malita, and there's that Michael and Steve. It's fantastic.
Yeah, God love him, and Anthony's having a few health issues at the moment, so we're wishing him quick recovery, and
Yes.
he's they're just fantastic, and when you see these people and you talk to them and you understand that's
I've
what
got
real
sorry
football-
I've got something here from Mark Tanti about you. Do you know why? You know what he's saying about when you actually attract so many good people? Do you know what he said?
No,
It's your hair, Kenny.
that's my hair. It probably is. It probably
Well,
is.
that's what he's saying.
It's not mine.
Oh my!
It's not mine, Kenny.
Oh God!
Yeah,
Yeah.
I honest to God, I've got so many great friends,
Oh,
and they've all
amazing
come through
stuff.
football,
Amazing.
all come through football, and the other night it was like, Race, it was very emotional the other night because
Jesus.
some of us haven't seen. I mean, Mickey Cross.
Yeah.
I haven't saw Mickey Cross.
Mickey
for
Cross,
20
yeah,
years.
Mickey, what a player, Mickey Cross.
I
Wow.
haven't seen Mickey, and I slept in his
And Richie
floor.
Williams.
And Richie.
Oh my God!
Me and Alex,
these
me and
guys.
Alex Jameson, when we arrived
Yes.
in Australia, we lived in the Coogee Bay Hotel for 9 months until we got evicted. And we got evicted. We slept on Mickey's floor for 2 weeks, right in Coogee. God love him. Him and Lynn, his wife. And I haven't seen Mickey. It must be 20 years. I see Derek and I see Johnny McKee and Colin and that a bit, but just a great. But I mean, you can't put any words. It was amazing. So and that was a great thing. We had a great bonding.
I wish I knew months ago about this, Kenny. Because I'll tell you what, to have you in front of me, Ray, and to have the story right in front of me and to be able to record you there, and we're glad that I'm doing this tonight because I tell you what, I didn't want to go yesterday and do it, Kenny, because there wouldn't have been enough time, of course, no time at all. Yep. That's why I said let's do a second one, and that's what we did. To learn some stuff from you, I tell you what, Ray, can I ask you something? There's something called they're still there. It's empty there. There's nothing there in Canberra. What's it called? Is it the University of Canberra? The Centre of Excellence is still empty. Would you like to take up a position there at all?
If the offer comes, I will come.
I tell you what, mate.
Well, mate, not before I come across the Malta next year. I've got a 2-day stay there, so make sure you're.
No,
he's there before you come. I tell you what, mate. The credentials that you have, Ray. This is like you're a scientist of the game. A scientist of the game. You're like a scientist. The things you said tonight to me is like, my God, man, where have you been missing all these years?
Harry, can I suggest something to you?
Yeah.
Once every month or whatever, you got Angelo from Naples.
Yes.
You do Ray from Malta, and you do an international show maybe once a month or once every couple of months. And you get him on, and he'll update you on everything.
Are you interested, Ray, to come on? The only problem is we might have to get you up in the morning. That's the only problem.
No worries. For you, Harry, I'll do
it.
Mate,
this story tonight is... You made me cry because I had tears before when you said about the Prime Minister. That's like unheard. I've never... Kenny, one Socceroo.
I have a copy here. I'll send
you
it
need
to Kenny.
to photo it. I want to put it up. And Kenny, why we're not looking after... Why, if Bob Hawke was here today... Can you imagine what he would have done for a couple of drinks? Don't you?
I mean, we'd have a public holiday tomorrow.
Oh my God, mate! Mate, this is the passion that Bob Hawke had. The Prime Minister of his speech. You know what he was? He was an Aussie rules man.
Yes,
And he was. Yeah. And from Perth, he originated from Perth. He came to Melbourne, became Prime Minister. My God, man! And these are the sort of Prime Ministers we need here with a passion for the sports and everything. That's amazing, Kenny. We don't see that no more. We don't.
It was very, very, for me, it was something special. I'm Maltese. I was going, a year later, I went back to Malta. And really, in this letter, some really nice words. Prime Minister of Australia thanking me. Oh, wow.
Harry, you need to understand, God bless Ray. He's on holiday this week at the Gold Coast with one of his cousins that he hasn't seen for God knows how many years.
Yeah.
And he's allocated tonight to talk to us, which is
This is
very
amazing,
kind of
Ray.
him.
This is amazing. I wish I knew months ago, Kenny, that I could have come with all the gear and done something, but this is just as good. And Ray, thank you for doing what you've done tonight for us so the country can say Parramatta and Parramatta Malita Eagles, Ray. I want to finish very soon, but Parramatta Malita Eagles, Kenny, and you guys know, when did they first get into the NSL? What was the year?
84.
84?
84.
And of course, you played, Ray, in that year as well, 84, is that right?
Yes.
You played now. Well, how did you find the NSL? The NSL, we're talking about the first, I think that was the Phillips League still, Kenny, wasn't it the Phillips League still?
Yeah.
And so how did you find the standard?
I think it was NSL. only.
NSL.
Yeah, I think it was NSL. But
Okay.
I think the Phillips dropped in 82 or
Yes.
82. Yeah.
So how did you feel about the standard here when you were playing with all these great players? And at that time, we're talking here players from all over the world at the time. Kenny, of course, you know there wasn't very many Aussies playing at that time, but there's a lot of people from all over the world, of course. And how did you feel about that standard at that time, Ray?
I mean, the standard was improving. Every year it was getting better. Even then, some, South American players started coming over. You remember, Ken, and it was good. It was really good.
Ray used to get me in the dressing room after the game. He says, Kenny, you're killing me. You're killing me. I'm doing all your running. He says, you don't run. You've got to start running. You led my career. And then Colin McCausland said the same thing, and so did Billy Griffiths. They reckon I cut their careers by about 2 or 3 years.
Oh, my God.
I think the standard was getting better and better. I mean, in those days, I was a bit of a technical player like Kenny. And we didn't have much protection from the referees, the officials. And in today's game, I think it is totally different. You get protection. They won't come from behind and just hack you and this. But we got some of those things in those days. But I think the standard was not bad. There were some good players, some really good players.
Big mistake. We made a big mistake, Malita. Raul should have brought signed Story again.
Exactly.
We needed him in the midfield.
We needed Johnny Stoddard back in the team.
Yeah.
If
we had Story in the midfield in 84,
sure.
we were top of the league at the halfway stage.
Halfway stage.
And
I remember that.
And Alec McPherson, we played Sydney, Hakoah or Sydney City at the time. We played them, and I think it was Causey. I think it was Causey.
Oh no, not again.
That injured them, and we lost them for about 4 or 5 weeks, and we never recovered.
Causey,
exactly, we never recovered then. We never recovered.
Oh my God!
Now
I want to get.
But if we had Story in midfield, we that would have been.
That was, I think, that was the missing link, Johnny Stoddard.
Yeah, definitely.
Let me say, I want to go back to your stats here right now quickly. 318 appearances. My God, do you have the record for there? Is that the record?
Yes, 318, 123 goals.
My God.
Every stat.
I laid on 118 of their goals from, by the way.
Now, when they saw you being a fast player and moving and they're kicking all these 123 goals, was there any certain player that was coming after you to try and stop you in a way where they wanted to bring you down and break your legs and stuff like that? Don't talk to me about Cosmina.
I had a few of those.
Really?
Yes.
Harry, in case you want to know, I scored 19 goals, just in case you wanted to know that.
Well, that's fantastic. I saw one of your goals in the video you sent me. My God, man. What a goal that was.
I
saw it. My God.
I keep sending it to you, but you just don't post it anytime.
Oh, man. I put it up there. Why?
I'm kidding.
That's all right. Kidding. But honestly, players that wanted to bring you down, do you remember their names? Now, I can imagine South Melbourne, of course, a lot of headhunters in South Melbourne. Who were the team that really wanted you to get you off and get you down? I mean, send you, injure you and stop you from playing. That was the thing in those days.
In state league, they used to kick me. They really used to kick me. Oh, my
God.
I mean, Kenny, you remember, you used to tell me.
I used to kick you.
For Olympic?
We played once we played in Melbourne. Angie was playing in that game.
Yeah,
you remember, Kenny? And I think if I recall well, the coach was Ferenc Puskas.
Oh,
correct.
My God.
Yes. I think we lost 1-0.
Yeah.
But we played really a good game there, really a good game. Even him, French Puskas, afterwards, I never forget. He spoke to us, and he was a fantastic person. You know, what a man, what a man. You know, these are the people that you need here in Australia. Top men, people that are respected. You know,
I met when I was 15 playing in Viareggio for Rangers.
Boy.
He was, I think it was Dukla Prague. He was the coach, and I met him when we sat there, and I was just in awe of the man. He was just legend.
Unbelievable man. I remember Angie was still young, you know.
Left back, yeah.
But, you know, when you go back down memory lane, you know, I think we had a good run, Ken.
Oh, yeah.
Really
Harry, when you talk about physicality, Ray was talking about it. I mean, Hakoah, Sydney City, you know,
my God.
the phicality of them were just...
I remember one game, Kenny, when I came over. It was called the Ampol Cup.
Oh, yes.
You were not with us. We did the final. I was new here in Australia, you know, and I recall well. Now I don't like to boast and say, but I scored in every game until we came to the final.
Unbelievable.
And this is with Raul Blanco.
Oh.
We came to the final. The game started 5 minutes into the game. The keeper was the Australian keeper. Can you remind me the name, Kenny, of with Sydney City?
Was it Todd Clark or was it Pisano? I can't remember.
No, it might have been Pisano. It might have been Pisano.
Free kick outside the box. Boom. 1-0. I scored. We lost 3-1.
Jeez.
But 2 weeks later, we were training at Centennial Park. I think Centennial Park with Raul.
Yeah.
I saw this man on a white horse talking to Raul. It was Frank Lowy.
Oh.
And he said, Raul, he was looking at me. You know, I was new to Australia, and, you know. And Raul came up to me and he said, you know who that is? I said, I have no idea. No idea. And he said, that is Frank Lowy. And he said, he wants to come and buy you from Malita.
Oh.
And I said, no. I said, the Maltese brought me here. I want to give something back to them. I was new first year. So I stayed with Malita for 12 years. And I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. I love Malita. I love Malita. And I love all the players that I played with. They respected me. I respected them. They knew what I could offer, you know. And till this day, as we saw on Friday night, the reunion. I think we are one big happy family.
Absolutely.
This is the thing about the NSL, Kenny. The NSL was a very different time. It was people were passionate about the game. We had the first national competition of any kind of in this country, and we still got a national competition, even though it's called the A-League. But to have now, of course, Ray, we're bringing I know everybody's talking about this. They've all got things and whatever they want to talk about the NSL 2. I call this NSL 2. NSL 2. I know, Kenny, you don't like it. I know you don't.
No, I agree with you. Mate, it's just a rehash of the
That's right.
Rehash of the NSL. It's no different.
We bring in the NSL back with all the teams there. Ray, how do you feel? This is amazing.
Yes, it is amazing. It is amazing.
All the ethnic, it's all the ethnic teams again. The ones that got kicked out the original NSL.
The original, yes. Exactly.
Yeah, it's, with the exception of one or two, it's all the same teams.
Yes.
And all they're doing is, you know, we're going back to
NSL 2.
You know. And an NSL, fortunately, by accident or by device, they're going to be playing in the winter, and the A-League's been playing in the summer, so they won't clash because of that.
Yes, that's right, exactly.
But I don't know whether that was actually designed that way. It's just by accident.
I think it was. But what I'll tell you guys too right now, Ray, you see these two shirts in front of you. These are the shirts you would have played against. You know, these guys screaming, oh, Alexandros, Alexandros. You know that team, don't you?
Yes, of course.
Fitzroy United. Go on,
Harry. I'll tell you one story. You know, because there was Graham Arnold.
Yes.
A few years back, when I was national coach, you know, they do the FIFA Player of the Year award in London.
Yes.
That year, Luka Modric won it. That's where I
Ballon d'Or.
After all those years, I met Graham Arnold there in London. Mm-hmm. We were discussing, you know, football and this. Graham Arnold was a young kid, Kenny. You remember with Merrickville, Sydney Olympic, blah, blah, blah.
And he's a good friend. He's a friend of mine. You know,
exactly. Nice guy. Really nice guy. Graham Arnold is a really nice guy.
But anyway, he's a quality human being, mate.
This is really funny and interesting. And in the lobby, I met Gareth Southgate.
Oh,
So Garrett knew. He said, "Hey, you're the Maltese national coach." I said, "Hey, my name is Ray. Hi, Garrett," and blah blah blah. So anyway, he said,
Did he ask for me?
honest. This is honest, Kenny." He said, "I have a problem," and I looked at him, and I said, "What problem do you have?" He said, "I don't have enough players where to choose from." I'm not joking this. And I said, "Oh yeah, Garrett." I said, "What's 4 times 12?" And he looked at me. He thought I'm pulling his leg. He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "What's 4 times 12?" He said, 48. He said, "That's the amount of players I can choose from in Malta." You know why?
my God.
Harry?
Yes.
Because each team has got 7 foreign players in the Premier. So 12 teams, okay? That's the amount of Maltese players that I had to choose from. 48 players.
God. No wonder. As we see now, the Premier League, it's all international players, just like what you've got there too. That's the problem. Letting too many of them in the country, you're diluting. You're not giving the others an opportunity to play, and that's the problem here right now too. We have young kids. Yes.
That's it. That's why I said to myself when I became national coach, play the young players.
That's right.
Give them a year, 2 years, 3 years. But I tell you, after 4 years with experience and the know-how, with the right attitude and the right direction, you can create a good team. You can create a good team. But
Exactly.
unfortunately, people won't give you the chance to build up.
And what you just said now, and of course we know what's happening in Saudi Arabia, Kenny. You know this. They're buying anybody and everywhere they can find to, of course. And of course, yesterday we couldn't get, and he's on there watching right now. Of course, cheerio to Tony Goodwin, the Socceroo dad. Tony Goodwin is the father of Craig Goodwin. So he now has left for Saudi Arabia to play there. So they're now grabbing all these players. Do you know how much money they pay? It's all out now. I don't know whether I should mention how much money he's paying for the next 2 years, but it's a lot of money. And
you can't imagine, Harry, how much money.
Oh, my God. I just can't believe it. And Kenny, we're going to lose a lot of players this year. A lot of players are going to go over there. Not just
from all over the world, not just from here.
Yeah, all the leagues, they're going to struggle.
From everywhere.
We can't find
the best players in Scotland are going to go because of the low financial demographics.
That's right.
They're not huge money.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Malta, Greece, to a certain extent, there'll be Japan, Korea, Saudi Arabia will suck them up.
Oh, there's going to be
in a heartbeat.
And also, what's happening too is they're taking players from us to go to Scotland now. So the Australian player and the players who left Scotland are being replaced by other Aussie players. So and this gives an opportunity for the younger players, right? This is a whole complete turnaround here, which means you're going back to the old days again, where you're going to get your young players in, give them an opportunity, get them to be a lot better experienced players with a lot more games in the A-League, and that's actually turning around now, Kenny. That's turning around the other way.
Yep.
So we need to watch this space now. And I tell you what did I hear? And of course, Ray, you may know that apparently Kenny, I heard this and I'm saying to myself, is this for real? Where they're saying that the Saudi League are looking for a wild card to play in the Champions League. Well,
they are pushing all the way. And I tell you, then in the next 3 years, even Qatar will become like Saudi Arabia.
Oh my God.
You wait and see. I'm sure. I saw it with my own eyes.
They're doing it.
I know what's going on there because I was there and I knew what they want. What they want is that they'll be the best in the world.
The best league in the world. They want that. Yes, they do.
They have the money.
And all I can say is, if Tony's listening to me right now, I won't say the money situation, but I know it's about the money situation for Craig is 5 oil wells. 5 oil wells. You can imagine how many 5 oil wells can give you, Kenny. You know that?
Mate, you know what? I mean, I was quite disgusted reading some of the Adelaide United fans.
Yes.
You're saying, oh, he's not showing any loyalty.
Yeah.
Really? The boy's 30 or 31 now, isn't he?
I know.
And why shouldn't he, look after his family? Really? He's been a great servant for Adelaide. He's done them a great job. He's served Australia fantastically well. Why shouldn't he be able to? Of
course.
And of course, Tony
take the opportunity.
And Tony spoke to me and said to me, they wanted him back. And they were chasing him, and they kept it quiet. And of course, he's a big name in Saudi Arabia. So, mate, the
absolutely.
sky's the limits in South Australia. Saudi Arabia. Hang on for a sec. SA, South Australia, Saudi Arabia. The same bloody initials, mate. What is this? Maybe they're going to buy South Australia too as well. Who knows?
Well,
Same
mate,
initials.
we need them to come in and buy some A-League teams. That's what we need.
Oh, we do know that.
Oh.
We do, but that's the
That'd be
thing.
good. That'd be good.
Fantastic. Well, we hope, but I don't see that coming in the near future at all, where they're buying everybody for over there. Who knows what they're going to be buying next? That's the other thing too.
Slight taking sand to the Arabs, I suppose, but you never know.
That's right.
We'll see.
And also, the big story is, and of course, everybody's been talking about this, Danny Townsend. Danny Townsend has been talking about him to go over to run the league in some way as well. Boy, it's amazing.
Well, that seems to be the hot tip. And again, if they're making him an offer he can't refuse, why not? Why? And he's starting. When you get into something like that, when it starts at the sort of the grassroots of it, when it's starting, and you help it grow, it'd be fantastic. It'd be and good luck to him.
Ray, you ever thought of coming? I just want to. We're going to finish up shortly. Have you ever thought of coming back and coaching and doing something in Australia? Coaching a team here. Your credentials are pretty high up. You need to get back into coaching. Whether we could do something here with you.
I'm sure. I'm luckily I'm physically I'm still okay. I'm not young anymore. I'm going to be turning 68 on the 1st of October. Kenny, we are twins, me and Kenny. Yeah, Ken.
Well, fair enough.
Really?
But what I learned along is that you need to create, as a coach, a good team around you. You need sometimes better people than you around you, people that you trust. I have a great team. 4 or 5 people, and I can get more. So if you have a good team around you that you can trust,
it's amazing. And
they are better than you, that we can learn from each other. It's not, as I said in the beginning of this program, it's not I. This is wrong. In life, it's we. We do it together.
That's right.
Not what you achieve. I see coaches, unfortunately, they win a competition or they win a game and they go on the media and they say, I did this and I did that and I did this. No. There's a team behind you. It's not only the other coaches around you. There's the kit manager, the masseur, the physio, the doctor. They are all part of a team. You do it together.
You're one family. One family. The team is one family. The team is a family. Exactly. That's how it works and that's how it goes.
Unfortunately, it's still happening,
I know what you're saying.
But this is my philosophy. My philosophy is we create a team, a good team around you, and you are one team, one together. Everything you do is together.
Exactly.
And you respect each other.
And this is where football has started a few years ago, and we continue to do what we do as a team. And Kenny's helped me so much to get so many people. And of course, now I've got Roger. I'm losing it now. I'm losing all these names. Roger, you know who I'm talking about. Oh, it's one of those days today. It's too hot in Melbourne.
Roger Sleeman.
Roger Sleeman. Everybody's talking to me. Think the show is growing because of these guys being more like a family to me and everything. So this is what this game it brings people together. Like Kenny said, the right people have come together for you, Kenny, and it all works as one family. It all works as one, and that's fantastic.
Well, mate. I mean, just going off a tangent in regards to you. The reason people come on, and sure, I ask people to come on for you and use my contacts and friendships, but you've got to a stage now where people look at you and realise that you've got such a good heart, and the amount of work you put in to put these shows on is incredible. And mate, you know what? God love you. Everyone loves you.
It's you make me cry now.
No, but I mean, I'm telling you honestly. I don't know anyone. I don't know anyone that doesn't acknowledge the fact that you do all this out the goodness of your heart because you love the game.
Oh, I do love the game.
Back what Ray just said. It's no you.
No.
I mean, you want to bring people on. You want to.
That's right.
Explain to people, what's happening in the game. And mate, it's fantastic, so God love you.
And thank you, Kenny. I appreciate it. And also, Ray, the amount of people that Kenny's got me. I mean, There's players that I could mention. So Peter Catholis, you probably know Peter. You probably played
Yeah,
against him as well.
fantastic player. Fantastic.
So many players I could
Brilliant.
mention, Kenny. You could mention so many players that you would have played that had been on this show that had actually had never been had an opportunity to say something about where they played in the NSL. And a lot of people, when you speak to the next generation, and you ask them, "Oh, when did the NSL start?" I said, "What? What is this?" And I've heard this at A-League games. What's the NSL? Oh my God, we have tried to educate people, and they think that the A-League was the start of the game, Kenny. They're saying it's the start of the game. That's not right. I said, you've got to go back in history, watch the Football S show and watch the people and how they talk and how the game started completely in 1977.
And also, mate, and before, I mean, I know, the PSL, 77
Yes.
National League, but you go back to the late 60s, when Australia came out, wasn't in FIFA, and all these Baumgartners and these guys came. They were iconic, fantastic, some amazing football players. The Prague team, Roger Sleeman's the one to talk to about that.
Yes.
He's an encyclopedia
Yes,
from the late 60s to the right through. But I mean, I came 77, but I know a lot of these guys. Roy Blitz and I mean, unbelievable players that played through the early 70s, which culminated in the 74 Socceroo qualification for the World Cup. All these players from the South Coast, and Noddy Alston, who ends up going to play at Luton and Tampa Bay Rowdies, I think it was.
Yes.
Peter Wilson, Manfred Schaefer, Johnny Warren, Ray Bartz. I mean, unbelievable. Ernie Campbell, a young Ernie Campbell, and I mean, like frightening. But you need to get Roger on one night, and he'll give you the run. He'll give you the rundown from the late 60s to up to right through, but certainly up to the start of the Phillips National League.
I go back to this is where go on,
Ray. That's what I said in the beginning. What Kenny is saying is, unfortunately, here in Australia, at the moment with the A-League, some people forgot where soccer started.
Exactly.
How it started, how hard it was, how difficult. How the ethnic community, gave towards soccer in Australia to be where it is today. I think never forget from where you came from. From where, because like in England, in Scotland, in Malta, and all these places in Spain, they still remember the old players, what they did, what they didn't do. Here, it has to be the same.
Exactly.
They should remember where it came from, where soccer started.
Well, mate, I'll leave you on something. How things stick in your mind, and things happen.
Mate,
I went to India, and I'll never forget this. I went to India, and it was very emotional. They took me to the Taj Mahal, and you've got to take your shoes off to get into the Taj Mahal. So I was wearing Nikes. I took my Nikes off and I laid them there. And I went through Taj Mahal. It was, it was an amazing experience. And I came out, and someone had stolen my Nikes.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
So I had to go back to Delhi with a pair of $2.
This is one of your.
Oh my God, man!
The moral of the story is, the moral of the story is, don't wear Nikes to the Taj Mahal.
Oh my God! So it could have been. It wasn't there. Isn't there monkeys there as well? Is there monkeys growing around? Monkeys as well, little monkeys. I mean, they would have pinched you for something.
That's Bali, mate. That's Bali.
Oh my God!
No, but I'm just telling you. If you go to the Taj Mahal, don't wear Nikes.
Kenny, I just came from India.
Oh.
Yeah?
That Nike.
Actually, mate,
the elephant was wearing a Nike.
Oh, gee. Oh, my God. Lucky you didn't take him off, Ray. Lucky you didn't take him off. That's the main thing. But
that's a true story, by the way. I never made that up.
I can't
he stole my
believe
Nike.
What a
buy a $2 pair of flip-flops.
This is tonight, guys. This has been an amazing night, Ray. What you've said tonight, and the statistics that I went through today, and I put them there to read them and everything. I could still go more. There's more that you're doing now that we don't even know. So we want to get you back again when you're in Malta to tell us what's happening, what you're doing. And Kenny has all the information. So this is, and I'll tell you something right now. We've presented so many clubs. And from the NSL and former players in the clubs, but this Paramata Malita Eagles is a very special club, and I'd like to see Kenny come back up like all the NSL clubs to come back up again. Full stop. That's the thing. Ray, go on.
Harry, I thank you. I thank all the Australian community, all the Australian people, and I thank what Australia has given me. I can never forget that. And I hope that we will be on again through Kenny and you, Harry.
Yes,
anytime
we will
you
be.
want.
We will be, and Kenny will
And
organise this.
definitely I will miss Australia, but I'm sure I'll be back soon.
Maybe Kenny will go to Malta and do a show. What do you think?
No, he's coming.
I'm going. I'm
he's
here
coming.
Maybe we'll.
Because I'm going to take him out. You see, it's a free meal.
There you go.
Mate, I bought my signage at Manly. He owes me a big fee.
Oh.
Yeah.
Guys, it's been an amazing night to talk about Paramata Malita, because we've done all the other clubs and this is the one that we haven't done, and this is amazing tonight to learn this stuff at Paramata. A family club, friends, all friends for life, and that's what
Great
the game
people,
brings
mate.
to us.
Great Maltese.
Exactly. Great people. I've had friends and everything is Maltese friends too. They're amazing people. Guys, thank you for joining. You're going to have tears in my eyes in a minute, I tell you what. But guys, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for your time being in Australia, and we've learned a lot about you and the things you've given us here, some things about the game and what you've done for the game. Thank you, Ray. Absolutely amazing. Kenny, thank you very much for coming on, and we'll talk again soon.
Mate.
Guys,
Pleasure.
Football Lessons was a massive special tonight, guys, and thank you for joining me. Thank you, Ray, and thank you, Kenny. Guys, next Monday, we're going to have some more happening, guys. Football Lessons live tonight, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining, guys. And if you want to see the replay, guys, you can get the replay later on. It's fantastic. I'm going to put all the editing and everything. Guys, thank you for joining me. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. Hey, feel it. Hup, hup. Next week, guys, we've got our panel back again. The crew, the Soccer Psychos are back next Monday night at 8:30 with another special guest. Good night, everyone. Thank you for joining me. What a great night it was. The cup of life. This is the one. Now is the time. Don't ever stop. We should've known. Gotta be strong. We should've known right from the top. And when you feel the heat, the world is at your feet. No one can hold you back if you really want it. I see it in your eyes. You want... Go on you, Roger. Now at the D's, here you're going to get a Paramata Malita Eagles. Do you really want it, Paramata Malita? Here we go. Here we go. Aliyah. Good night, guys. Thank you for joining me. Football Lessons live tonight, guys. Thank you very much. See you Monday, 8:30 p.m. Oh, my voice is gone. Oh, my God. Here we go. Hi guys, Harry Sunday here, letting you know that there's a apparel company that supports the game that you love. It's called ThereIsOnlyOneFootball.com, guys. They've got all sorts of stuff, from caps, t-shirts, water bottles, all sorts of accessories, even for your mobile phone. All that sporting stuff you can wear anywhere you want to wear it, guys. That's right. And don't forget the website it's on, ThereIsOnlyOneFootball.com.
There is only one football.